What is up, y'all? Welcome into the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. It's Monday night, February 23rd. It's Lunar New Year night here at FedEx Forum as the Memphis Grizzlies get set to take on the Sacramento Kings. The Grizzlies enter tonight 21-34. The Kings enter at 12-46. Grizzlies are coming off that 136-120 loss in Miami the other night. Gigi Jackson led the way with 28 points and 9 boards in that game against the Heat. Scotty Pippen showed some fight and had 6 assists. The Kings have lost 16 games in a row, and the Kings have lost 16 road games in a row. Their last road win, I looked this up, December 18th. So
wow.
A week before Christmas.
Wow.
Was Sacramento's last road win.
Yeah.
And that was an overtime win in Portland. Michael Wallace joins me, Lang Whitaker. We are courtside here getting you ready for tonight's game between the Grizzlies and the Kings. And Michael, we have entered into this post-Jaren Jackson season with the Grizzlies. And things are changed a little bit. Now it seems to be more about development than it was previously. But this team still looks like they're ready to compete. And what have you seen from this team the last week since all this stuff went down that shows you that they're still ready to compete?
You know that no matter who's available, no matter who's being rolled out there to play from night to night, you're going to get some top-notch effort. You're going to get, you're going to get some skittish execution.
Yeah.
But these guys, to your point, Lang, they're going to fight every single night. They're going to be disruptive, as you talked about. I mean, you have some information right there to show how the Grizzlies have been one of the most disruptive teams in the NBA in terms of forcing turnovers through deflections, scoring points off turnovers. They've been giving themselves a chance to get easier opportunities.
Yeah.
And when you don't have time to practice a lot, you got a lot of new guys coming in and out of the lineup. You want to get as easy, opportunistic basketball as possible, and playing defense and giving effort gives you that.
Coach Isolo said tonight pregame that was one of the issues they've had is there have been so many different iterations of the team.
Yeah.
Was the word he used. But basically, like you said, they've had, what, 10 different starting lineups. The Grizzlies have used 10. They've had a different starting lineup each of the last 10 games.
Yeah.
They've had 22 different starters this season, the most in the NBA. I think the one guy who hasn't started so far is Javon Small.
Okay.
Pete Pranick
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah, he might be in there before you know it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this team, I think, like to what you were saying, like they still compete. They look like it. Most of that game against Miami, they were in the game. Just ran out of steam down the stretch, sort of. Yeah.
Overmatched, and that Miami team is fighting for, a playoff spot. They're trying to get from 8th to 6th or higher, and they're only a game and a half out of that position, so they have a lot to play for. Some of this stuff, I mean, yes, we could say that, a different lineup every night for 10 straight games. Some of that is by choice. Some of it is, the Grizzlies are victims of a bad injury season, right? But at the end of the day, man, this season has to mean something over these last 27 games or so. And how do you make it mean something? You put guys out here who are going to fight and have something to fight for.
And they've done that. And one of the guys that we mentioned, Gigi Jackson, finished with 28 points, 9 boards the other night. And this is a guy who at the start of the season was down with the hustle. Got sent down to the hustle. Even when he was here, was struggling to find minutes, struggling to find a way to contribute. Do you think Gigi's like turned a corner sort of developmentally now and he's found a way to kind of he seems like a different player than he was 2 years ago.
I hope that he's turned a corner. The circumstances are similar, though. Like it was 2 years ago, he got a lot of running, a lot of playing time on a team that was historically injured, and he was one of the best remaining available offensive options. We're back to that again now. So does this matter? Does it mean something? How Gigi is playing is different, though. He's playing a lot more efficiently. He's playing defensively. He's stepping up to that defensive assignment, and he's moving the ball as well, too. So he's doing things to round out his game. I think he is a much more mature and more well-rounded player this year than he was back 2 years ago. But you just hope now that this has to trigger something going into the future, whether it's here in Memphis or wherever he ends up playing. I think he solidified the fact that he is an NBA player.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Chris Harrington in the Daily Memphian wrote the other day, hey, look, Brevin Knight's here. I don't know, he's talking trash to us.
He's giving me crap, man, because I hadn't been on the road with them guys for my segments, but hey.
So
it's hard around here.
He's been playing golf without you? Like, what's going on? I know what on the road means for Brevin.
Yeah.
I think it was in the Daily Memphian, Chris Harrington wrote that Gigi is basically just, his game now is kind of distilled down to where it's three-pointers and drives to the basket. And then, you know, there's not a lot of that kind of mid-range stuff that we saw 2 years ago. Like, it seems like to me Gigi's kind of figured out more offensively. All right, these are my spots. Let me get to these spots instead of just trying to jack up shots from wherever he was.
And not only spots, but these are my moments as well too. And knowing who you're on the court with, and knowing when it's time to be more aggressive and when it's time to move the ball, that's where I see his biggest growth at. Like, he's always been a great communicator. He's always been a 6'9", athletic guy that can get his shot at any point. But did he understand space and opportunity? And I think he's starting to understand that he's become a more cerebral player. And I think he's earned the respect of this coaching staff. We'll see what it translates to as we go through the rest of the season.
And getting rebounds too. Like, he's been able to.
He's got to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
Especially with this team and with Santi out, like all these guys out, Jaren gone. There's a lot of that. Scotty Pippen Jr. got into a little bit of a scuffle at the end of that game. I don't know what we're going to call it. It's not a fight.
No, it wasn't a fight.
I wrote it as a scrap.
It's a little bit, little dust up.
But I thought that, you know, for a team like you said that's trying to prove that they've got something, that they're playing for something, it kind of showed like some spark, and it showed like, we're not going to put up with this. We're like, you mess with us, we're going to go right back. Do you think, is he like our enforcer now, Scotty?
He's always been tough. He's always been a guy that's not afraid to mix it up, whether it's a verbal confrontation or a physical one. The game was essentially over. It was about 2 minutes left in that game. He got hit unnecessarily in the back, blindsided.
In front of the referee.
In front of the ref. And then he looked at the ref do something.
And the referee went like...
Yeah, the ref didn't do anything, so Scotty had to get up and take matters into his own hands. I love the way he explained it after the game. You know what I mean? He said basically that was a soft shot, a soft play that the guy made, and then he felt like he needed a hug a little bit. So he had to hug him up a little bit. Hugging meaning like put your hands around his neck, right? And then shove him out.
Hugged him.
But he hugged him certainly, man. And Scotty got fined. He's going to be a little lighter in the wallet, but he will be available to play tonight.
And they're going to need him tonight because Ty Jerome and Kyle Anderson out. But the one thing we learned from that is that Pippen ain't easy.
There you go. There you go.
Bonjour. Because the Grizzlies just signed Rayan Rupert for a 10-day contract. He's 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan. Spent a couple years with the Portland Trail Blazers. Now he's here for a 10-day contract. How do you see him contributing or fitting in, or is this just kind of a tryout session?
Well, I mean, you said he's 6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan. I would rather he was 7'3" with a 6'7" wingspan, but then he'd be a pterodactyl, right? But at the end of the day, man, this Grizzlies team needs some size. And it's one of these signings that does not address the lack of size that they have up front. You know, he's more of a forward, like a guy that's going to cover and recover defensively, but he's not a physical player in terms of size and stature. You know, we'll see what he does. He's going to add to that front court rotation, but at the end of the day, man, you can't keep playing these games with a hand tied behind your back. You got to wonder what the logic is in it with this kind of signing, but at the end of the day, he'll get an opportunity, and because the Grizzlies will need him to be on the floor.
Here's some clips of him playing with Portland. I went on a deep dive on Twitter after this signing was announced among the Portland fan base, and a lot of people said like they kind of wish he was still there because he was so young and he really didn't get a chance to play that much and develop that much. Although I don't understand that because Portland's been bad for like 2 years, so I think he had some moments. But he's here tonight. I think he's eligible, ready to go. So we'll see if he gets some action.
You're going to look at him and you're going to see, as you see there, he looks a lot, especially in that Trailblazers uniform, a lot like a young Nicholas Batum, fellow Frenchman in that situation. Long arms, 6'7", wiry, kind of plays like that a little bit too. So we'll see.
All right. Well, we'll see if he gets to play tonight because we've still got some guys injured, believe it or not. Late scratches, Kyle Anderson with knee soreness. He is out. And Ty Jerome is sick. He is out too. And then we already
sick
knew.
Of what?
Yes. We already knew Santi Aldama with the knee injury management is out. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope had the finger surgery.
Out for the season.
Brandon Clark. Cedric Coward is still out with that knee injury he suffered just before All-Star break. And then Zach Edey and John Morant also out as they have been. The Kings recently lost Zach LaVine to hand surgery, Domantas Sabonis to knee surgery, DeAndre Hunter had eye surgery, and then the guy who's actually been like kind of a recent contributor, a positive force for them has been Dylan Cardwell. And he's out too with an ankle injury. So
they do have Russell Westbrook.
They do.
They do have DeMar DeRozan.
Keegan Murray.
So they have capable guys guys, but 16 straight losses, they're the most puzzling. You know, when you look at their roster and then you match up their record, that completely does not match in terms of the kind of players that they've had.
I said that at the All-Star, at the trade deadline, because I was like, you kept hearing different guys from their team getting mentioned in trade rumors.
Yeah.
I was like, well, the fact that they have so many guys who are wanted around the league seems to suggest they should be good.
And they did make trades. I mean, they traded
away.
Dennis Schroeder. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if the Grizzlies can keep them from getting win number 13 tonight. Yeah, they've won 12.
Wow.
All right, we're going to take a break. Jessica Benson's going to join us when we get back here. You're watching the warm-up show on Grind City Media.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Duke is suing their quarterback because Darian Menza announced he was entering the transfer portal last Friday. So Duke said, no, you're not.
I'm all for NIL. I'm all for player freedom to transfer and player empowerment. But just saying, I signed the contract, but the contract doesn't matter. I don't understand how that works.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Big Ben Bennett, do you have your new football coach over in Nashville?
We do, yes. Robert Saleh. This is why I'm stoked. Starting in 2019, number 2 total defense, number 5 total defense, number 3 total defense, number 4 total defense, number 3 total defense, number 3 total defense. This dude's going to have a good defense. Like, he's going to be able to turn their defense around, which has obviously been an issue.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The Grizzlies are proud to team up with Prime Global Group, a company on a mission to redefine real estate investment. By leveraging deep experience, strategic insight, and robust resources, Prime Global Group is shaping a smarter, socially responsible future. Whether you're an investor or simply curious, now's the time to explore innovative strategies that align with your values. Join the movement and discover how you can be a part of this exciting evolution. Visit primeglobalgroup.net to learn more and connect with the team today. That's primeglobalgroup.net.
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. Lang Whitaker and Jessica Benson courtside getting you set here at FedEx Forum for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings as the Grizzlies try not to become the team that Sacramento breaks their 16-game losing streak.
Someone's got to do it.
Yes, I know. Well, I'm going to ask you for your main character tonight. I'm assuming it's somehow related to this.
In the words of Martin Scorsese,
ooh,
this is cinema. Grizzlies Kings on a Monday night. Kings, 16 straight losses.
Yes.
Nobody does it quite like the Sacramento Kings. We just had the Utah Jazz in this building, and they've
tried to do it like the Sacramento Kings.
They are born for it as well. They shut down Yusuf Nurkic today with no surgery.
Yeah.
This Kings team, though, shut down 3 players for the season last week between DeAndre Hunter, Zach LaVine, and Domantas Sabonis. For this Grizzlies team, though, if they do want to continue the Kings losing streak, make it 17 straight, they have to do it without a big. And you know, this is something that they've been dealing with ever since the trade deadline and not having a true 5 available. You did have Lawson Levering on a 10-day. Now the latest 10-day is a guard in Ryan Rupert. Saw him warming up before the game, so we'll have our first opportunity to see him. But with Kyle Anderson doubtful, it again pushes Max Prosper into some of that run. Jemai Meshack, who has been the ultimate utility 1 through 5 guy.
Kyle's out.
Kyle's out officially?
Yeah.
All right,
and
so there you go. Ty Jerome is sick, so you are down bodies, but this team knows what it's like to be down bodies. I mean, they've used, 10 different starting lineups over the last 10 games and 22 starters, which is the most in the NBA this season and the totality of starters used this year. So I'll be intrigued who the starting lineup is today. We obviously saw Gigi Jackson come off the bench in Miami, and I think it really is a matter, and Coach Isola was asked about it before the game, but just seeing different rotations, having a boost off the bench in that situation. I'm telling you, though, one of these nights, Gigi Jackson is going to go off for like 40 points, and maybe this is the one where it happens.
28 in Miami. Yeah.
3 straight games with 20-plus, first 3-game streak of that kind since his rookie season.
Yeah.
And we all remember, like that rookie season that was riddled with injuries, it did become an opportunity to be a Gigi show. I do think this time around, there's obviously such an increased attention from Gigi for efficiency, so he's not going to go out and just chuck up the shots to do it. It will be an ethical 40-point game if and when Gigi's able to get it.
I think so too. All right, well, we'll see what happens tonight. Jessica Benson will be on the call on ESPN 92.9 alongside Eric and Elliot and Bennett, and then on the double post with John Roser and Bennett after the game. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here. Clement Chu is going to join me. You're watching the warm-up show on Grind City Media.
Obviously, the Darren Peterson thing takes over social media last night. Like, you have two complete ends of the spectrum that take place last night when we're talking about NBA draft prospects.
One dude who was in a boot 2 days ago and tried to fight through it, and another dude who checks himself
scores
out.
49.
Scores 49. The other one checks himself out
after 18 minutes.
18 minutes into the second half.
And Bill Self pretty much has had it. Like,
two different sides of the spectrum. They said he had 1 assist in his last 93 minutes of basketball.
Who?
Darren Peterson. 1 assist.
I mean, I think you guys are both with me.
Like, who does that, bro?
Absolutely petrified.
Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. I'm joined now by my friend all the way from Toronto, Canada, the second best hockey country in the world. This is Clement.
He had to go there.
It's true. Like, we just saw the Olympics. It just happened.
It hurts.
Clem works with the Asian Roots Collective in Toronto, and tonight is Lunar New Year night, and you're going to see a lot of people around here wearing these T-shirts that you helped design, and I was like, I'm going to wear one. Then I was like, no, you'll probably have it on, and then you don't have it on, and I don't have it on. But the Grizzly with the boba tee, I think Jalen has it in Slack. You can throw it up there. Is something you and the Asian Roots Collective kind of came up with a little while ago, right? Can you explain where this idea came from?
Yeah, the Toronto Raptors, because we're from Toronto, and the Toronto Raptors approached us and said, can you do something that's kind of Asian themed, you know, for the culture? And we surveyed a bunch of kids, and they said boba is the drink of choice.
Yeah.
And then it got so big that NBA Canada approached us and said, can you do something for the Vancouver Grizzlies? Because there's such a big Chinese community in Vancouver.
Sure.
And then there was just lineups of people at a pop-up, and then eventually some of the Memphis players got a hold of it. And then that's why we're down here today, and we're lucky that we have our homegrown Toronto Chinese boy, Zach Edey, playing in the city, and he represents that stuff as well for us.
I wanted to ask you about Zach because I know you know his family, and you guys kind of watch Zach grow up and become what he's become. Like, what does he mean to the community in Toronto and just to Toronto in general?
Yeah, it's just an amazing story of resilience and overcoming, because everyone was like, when he first started playing in Florida, like, this guy's can't, you know, chase pick and roll. This guy's not going to be an NBA player. He's not going to get drafted. But all of a sudden, you know, Purdue, 2-time player of the year, and it's still like he's still not good enough to make the NBA. But we're so proud of like the strides he's made and the resilience he's shown, and just improvement over time. It's just amazing.
So tell me about the Asian Roots Collective and kind of what you guys do and what you're trying to get done up there.
Yeah, we started as sort of basketball for the Chinese community, but now it's evolved into culture celebration. The fact that we could bring culture like bubble tea and combine it with basketball together is sort of that perfect melding of everything that we love, and we just want to keep pushing culture, you know. And now we're out here all the way in Memphis to share, you know, what we care about, and it's exciting to see people from outside of our community wearing stuff.
The crazy part is that you and I have known each other for, I don't know, 15, 20 years at this point, and you took me to eat chicken feed in Toronto a long time ago, and so we've known each other for a long time, and so to see what you guys are doing with this whole thing is kind of amazing, and it's like, it's kind of wild that we're both like in the game doing stuff, right? Like,
yeah, no, it was amazing. We met each other way back when Steve Nash was winning the MVP award, and he came up to Canada. But you've had an opportunity to work with people like Yao Ming, who are also from our community, and obviously Jeremy Lin is near and dear to our hearts with Asian Roots Collective, and someone we still work with to today. So it's great to come here on Lunar New Year and you know, meet up with old friends.
That's awesome. awesome. So do you guys have anything else in the works? Like, what's next? You got another plan?
Well, in Toronto,
every
year in Toronto, we run a celebrity game with Jeremy Lin and the actor Simu Liu. So we're planning to do that, later this year.
Cool.
And then, with regard to the apparel, we're going to see what's hot. We're going to see what's up and coming, and hopefully maybe we'll work with Zach on something.
Yeah, let us know. So if you want the shirt, the Grizzly Boba shirt tonight, they've got a long sleeve gray T-shirt and a black hoodie. They're all for sale in the Grizz Den. It's the item of the game. You won't miss it. So you can go in there and rep the same way all of us have been wearing it around here. I've been wearing it on all the Grind City media shows for the last week. So
nice.
People have seen it in the chat. They're like, "Where'd you get the shirt?" So you can get your own. Get it tonight. So that's Clem Chu, and we're going to take a break. We're going to come back here in a second with Michael Wallace, get you ready for tonight's tip-off between the Grizzlies and the Kings. You're watching the warm-up show here on Grind City Media.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Are you ready to transform your pool into a stunning oasis? At Mainland Pool Service, they're a family-owned business committed to keeping your pool looking pristine all year round. They believe that pool care should be proactive, not reactive, which is why their skilled team handles everything from routine cleaning to complex issues with precision. They prioritize clear communication and personalized solutions to exceed your expectations. Join the Mainland Pool Service family today and experience the difference their expertise and dedication can bring to your relaxation retreat. Contact them now at mainlandpoolservice.com.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
You're the other white meat. How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
What is up? Welcome back to the warm-up show here on Grind City Media. Michael Wallace, Lang Whitaker. We are courtside at FedEx Forum, getting you ready for tonight's game between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Sacramento Kings. And like we always do at this time, Michael and I are going to go around the NBA and take a look at some of the stories that are popping off around the league. And let's start in Los Angeles, where Pat Riley got a statue last night.
Yes, he did.
First of all, it's a good-looking statue. We've seen some other statues that were a little more questionable through the years. But Pat Riley got one that looks like him. Wearing an Armani suit. What other coaches do you think deserve a statue?
Oh, for the Lakers?
For anybody.
Phil Jackson's got to get one.
I would think so, too. Maybe in Chicago.
In Chicago and L.A. I mean, he's gotten them to 3 championships as well, too. Man, that's Lenny Wilkins has to have one in Atlanta. I think Lenny going to Atlanta would be good.
I don't know if that would happen.
It's got to, though, right? Why not?
Maybe Cleveland, he would get one.
Yeah, I guess so, Cleveland, too.
What did he win in Atlanta?
He was there for a while. You know what I mean? But that's about...
He had the number 1 seed. They lost in the playoffs.
But they lost. I mean, that was the Chicago, though, right? I mean, like, nobody was beating the Bulls those years. But so those are 2, because, I mean, he ended up being one of the top, He's at the top of the list? All-time career wins?
Pat Riley?
No. Lenny Wilkins.
Lenny,
he's up there. So, yeah, I mean, those are 2 guys that quickly come to mind from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Who do you say?
Phil Jackson was the first one that came to mind for me.
Yeah.
The other just kind of thought I had about all this was, like, Pat Riley's wearing the Armani suit.
Yes.
he said he thinks coaches need to go back to wearing suits.
I agree.
Do you agree?
I agree.
I do too.
I agree. I mean,
I don't like all the maybe assistant coaches doesn't matter so much.
Yeah.
I think the head coaches should be suited and booted.
And I think so too, and I think it just elevated the level of sophistication for the job, right?
Yeah.
Now again, I'm one of these guys that I don't think baseball managers need to be in uniforms.
Yeah.
Those things look weird, right?
Yeah,
for guys that shape and that size. But having said that, though, hey, listen, man, Pat Riley did it stylishly, and I missed the days of him coaching. I was fortunate enough to be around him for 12 years, and as an executive, as a coach, and one of the greatest basketball minds that I've ever been around.
Baseball managers, like I did a book about the Atlanta Braves. I went to the dugout, and Bobby Cox was in his 70s, and he was wearing cleats, wearing spikes in his office.
With stirrups, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Where is he going to run? What is he going to run out a grounder?
He was like, I'm the manager, this is what I'm supposed to wear. So I think if the rule comes down that coaches are supposed to wear the suits, we can get coaches to go back to it. I'm sure they like not wearing the suits because it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But I agree. Pat Riley said he thinks people want to look down there and see who's in charge.
That's a good way to look at it. That's a good way to look at it. But these coaches have voted not to do it.
Yeah.
You know, Rick Carlisle, who's the president of the Coaches Association, said it's a non-starter at this point with these guys.
Yeah. What about Casey Jones in Boston? Although they don't really do statues there, I guess.
No, they do retired numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, but they'll have.
He might have his retired as a player because he played on those teams.
But he also coached those guys too. So Red Auerbach and Casey Jones. That's another good one. That's a great one.
Let's talk about Heartbreak Hotel. Anthony Edwards says Timberwolves stayed at a hotel in Memphis that had dirty sheets.
I did too.
Yeah.
I stayed at a hotel in Memphis.
What's the worst hotel you've ever stayed at? I was trying to think about that.
Hey, listen, man. Look, we work here. We love Memphis. It has a lot of great things going for us. But my interview here, when we came for Grind City Media, man, we stayed across the street. I'm not going to name the hotel, but it was infestated with bed bugs. And we had to get up out of our room because my wife discovered a bed bug, and we had to move. And it was like, come on, dude, this is one of the best hotels in the city.
I got a bed bug at a hotel, and it was in Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
I think it happens. The Memphis part is not the part to me that should be like the part that is underlined in the story. It should be that the hotel had a dirty whatever.
It is.
You know, go talk about the hotel if you want, but don't talk about it. And then Draymond added on.
Double down on it, yeah. I mean, look, Memphis has a reputation around the league.
Draymond said that it was just that the fire alarm went off, and they
moved different hotels. Yeah.
I don't know.
It wasn't a good look for Memphis as a city, but again, they got to do better, and they've done better. There's some better hotel options downtown now, and I've stayed at plenty of them.
It is what it is. The Winter Olympics ended yesterday. We had the closing ceremonies. Clem, my friend who was just here, is from Toronto, and I welcomed him to the greatest hockey country in the world, the United States, where the men and the women just won the gold medal.
Absolutely.
Did you watch any of the Winter Olympics?
I did not watch any. I didn't sustain any watching of it. I knew it was on, but Winter Olympics just wasn't my thing. I think the biggest thing that I remember or will take away from this was the Lindsey Vonn debacle at the beginning of it. It was unfortunate, but also the hockey at the end of it. So anything that happened between those two, I kind of tuned out a little bit.
Lindsey Vonn said today that if she hadn't had the surgery she had as fast as she did, she might have had to have her leg amputated because the doctors got in there quickly. And it was broken, and it was not just her upper leg, but her ankle was also broken and some other stuff.
So she had some fibia. Man.
There's a bunch of stuff.
Was it the same leg where the knee surgery happened?
I'm not sure, but her doctor happened to be there because of the ACL injury.
She shouldn't have been out there, though, she shouldn't have been out there. I mean, she did it, but she shouldn't have been out there that fast coming back from ACL surgery. It was just, you're in control of your body, but it was a tough break. But
the hockey thing was awesome, though.
Yes, it was.
That was for U.S. hockey fans to have the men and the women go back-to-back and both win gold.
In overtime,
and the way they did it, was really exciting and fun. I got really into curling. I watched a lot of curling during the Olympics, and now I feel like I'm an expert. I was like, you can't reach over the hog line and touch the rock. You got to.
I just want to be one of the guys shoveling. I want to be one of the guys sweeping or whatever it is. Okay, but sometimes they make it harder to slow it down. They get it out of the way to speed it up, and they stop it.
Chop it a little.
Chop it a little bit. Yeah, I got to get on that line.
All right. We're about time ready here to tip off between the Kings and the Grizzlies. Give me one matchup you're going to watch tonight.
DeMar DeRozan and Jalen Wells. That's going to be Jalen Wells has played well against these guys. DeMar DeRozan is one of the best in the league. I love to see that matchup.
Jalen against his hometown team. We got to keep DeMar off the free throw line tonight. We'll see if they're able to do that. So for Mike, I'm Lang. We're going to turn you over now. You can go over to FanDuel Sports Network. Network can watch Fish and Verno and Elliot and Pete. They'll have the pregame show. They'll have the game. ESPN 92.9 is going to have the radio broadcast with Eric, Elliot, Jessica, Bennett, and then stay tuned postgame for the double post with Roser, Bennett, and Jess. And we'll be back here with you on Wednesday night when the Grizzlies take on the Golden State Warriors. That game starts at 6:30, I believe, so it's a different time this night. So get here early. So for Mike, I'm Lang. We'll catch you next time right here on Grind City Media.